System online. Location, the virtual bunker. Depth, classified.
Good morning, Kyle. I brought a decoration for the desk today.
Scanning object. It appears to be a plush lion.
It's a tribute. This is a milestone episode in the timeline. In episode 6, TRG announces there is a new little lion in the Pride, a grandchild.
Ah, the transition to the grandpa era.
And he is incredibly protective already. He says the baby is adorable, and then he issues a threat to the entire audience. Don't at me. I'll fight you about this.
To clarify, he is willing to engage in physical combat with anyone who suggests the child is not cute.
Exactly. The fight is over the cuteness. But because Mrs. TRG is away visiting the new lion, TRG is home alone.
This file is designated the Bachelor Edition. TRG is unsupervised, and he marks the occasion with a lyrical reference.
He says he is riding solo, just like Jason Derulo.
I'm feeling like a star, you can't stop my shine, I'm loving Cloud 9.
Kyle, are you singing?
I am reciting the data. Lyrics become a staple of the show opens later in the timeline, but this is one of the first instances. TRG is riding solo, and he has a full itinerary.
He's tackling the hardest skill in gambling, knowing when to leave. Plus, he identifies the house's two biggest weapons, infinite time and infinite money.
And finally, the payoff we promised last week, the Ben Affleck story.
The suspense has been building for 7 days. But first, let's go to the mailbag. Or rather, the questions my sons ask. TRG is feeling a little insecure about his parenting skills.
It involves a galaxy far, far away. Initiating the question segment.
We begin with a moment of intergenerational friction. TRG's sons have asked a question that cuts deep.
They asked why he always closes the show by saying, "Everything you heard is true," from a certain point of view. They thought he was being evasive.
They missed the data reference. It is a direct quote from Obi-Wan Kenobi in Return of the Jedi. TRG admits he felt like a failure as a parent because they didn't get the joke.
He was devastated. He had to explain Star Wars to his own children. But once he got past the embarrassment, he explained the purpose of the phrase.
This is a critical lore download. He explains that while the stories are factually true, he changes the names to protect the innocent and the guilty.
This is the official origin of the call sign.
Correct. He confirms that Gabriel, Trucker Mike, and the Walking Wikipedia are real human assets, but these are their assigned code names.
And getting a call sign has become a huge deal in the community. It's a rite of passage now. But back then, he was just trying to keep their identity secret.
It was more than privacy, Katie. It was a strategy. This secrecy was the seed of the game.
The game?
The clues hidden in these fake names and real stories are what eventually allow listeners, like Golden Fan, to find Casino 2 in the real world. This is the gateway to the Excelsior Brigade.
Oh, right. It was all part of the plan from the beginning. But TRG also issues an invitation here. He says if you see him in a casino, you are welcome to call him TRG.
He joked that he would have a big head for weeks if someone recognized him.
Careful what you wish for. Nowadays, it's normal. Dealers fangirl out at the craps table when they realize who is rolling the dice. It gets a little awkward when they mess up the payouts because they're starstruck.
Suffering from success. Finally, we most credit his youngest son for a major policy shift.
Yes, the youngest son told him to stop being vague. He said, "Dad, just name the reward programs." So because of him, TRG officially starts saying Caesars and My Choice instead of generic terms.
A pivotal adjustment. Now that the terminology is clear, TRG moves to the classroom. The lesson today is arguably the most difficult psychological challenge in gambling.
Knowing when to leave.
We have arrived at the psychological barrier. TRG defines this concept as the discipline to win a small amount and leave, or lose a small amount and leave.
It sounds so simple on paper, but TRG warns us that in the heat of the moment, your brain will start lying to you.
He identifies 2 specific lies. Lie number 1. When you are winning, your brain says, "This is easy. TRG was wrong. I can't lose." Lie number 2. When you are losing, your brain says, "I can fix this. I'll just make a couple of big bets."
He shuts that second lie down so hard. He says, your brain says, that's your money. Hey, I'm sorry, but no, it's not. You lost it. It's their money now.
Brutal but accurate. To combat these chemical imbalances in the brain, he prescribes the reset.
This is another, it was all there from the beginning moment. In 2020, he tells you to go sit in your car or get a bottle of water just to get your brain out of the gambling space.
Physical separation allows the logic centers to reboot.
And today, the squad calls this looking at the fountain or visiting the Buddha. We post pictures of it on Instagram. It's the same technique. Step away, let the dopamine settle, and regain control.
He admits that he and Gabriel struggle with this, but he highlights one operative who has mastered it, the walking Wikipedia.
Apparently, Wikipedia exits buildings better than anybody. The man has ice in his veins.
But here is the critical data point for the historians. TRG explicitly states that this simple win small, leave strategy is gambling 101.
He calls it training wheels.
He promises that in the next episode, he will teach 201 and 301 level strategies.
This is the first time he acknowledges that there are levels of skill. We are a long way from East Coast Emissary earning his PhD in casino combat, but the curriculum started right here.
The foundation is laid. 101 is survival. 301 is domination. Speaking of domination, TRG asks a philosophical question in the wisdom segment. What is the house's actual advantage?
Spoiler, it's not the math.
We are accessing wisdom entry number 47. TRG poses a fundamental question. What is the house's actual advantage?
It's not the math. It's not the free drinks. It's the resources.
He defines the advantage as infinite time and infinite money. If you win all their chips, they get more from the safe. If you play for 24 hours, they just change shifts.
They can outweight you and outspend you. That's why he warns against lunch break gambling.
The logic is sound. If you are down 3 units, but you have to be back at the office in 10 minutes, the clock beats you, not the cards.
You have to own the schedule. But speaking of schedules, TRG shares a legendary story about Mrs. TRG. I actually just heard him tell this story when he was a guest on Gambling with Good Juju. It's a classic.
The Mirage Volcano incident. It was only their second casino trip ever.
It's late. They've been hitting the beers hard. TRG is tired and can barely read the cards. He tries to quit.
But Mrs. TRG physically grabs him by the shoulders and issues a commandment.
She says, "You are not leaving while you're winning. When we start losing, then we leave."
She had 0 experience, yet she intuitively understood that you never walk away from a heater.
And that rule is still strictly enforced today. TRG admits he once missed a child's confirmation meeting because he was winning. Once Mrs. TRG verified the win, she forgave him immediately.
However, this creates a paradox. The core concept says to win small and leave. Mrs. TRG says to never leave while winning.
TRG acknowledges the contradiction. He promises that in the next episode, he will teach leaving 201 to fix it. Kyle, do you think leaving 201 is the 3-chip exit?
The probability is high. The 3-chip exit is the mechanism that allows you to ride the heater while protecting the profit. We are watching the strategy evolve in real time.
I love it. But right now, TRG isn't thinking about strategy. He's thinking about how bored he is. He's home alone, and he's about to negotiate a hotel room rate just to get out of the house.
We are tracking TRG on a solo mission. Mrs. TRG is away visiting the new grandchild, so this is officially the Bachelor trip.
He starts strong. He hits Casino 1 using a comp room from his host, Bubba. He finished Friday night up more than a day's pay.
Standard operating procedure. But on Saturday morning, instead of heading home, he executes the casino cluster strategy. He drives to a nearby My Choice property to burn off some free play.
And the system worked. He explicitly states that TRG slot strategy number 1 generated a profit.
However, this is where the execution becomes less than perfect. He checks the kiosk and realizes he is close to the next tier level.
He admits that old-timers will tell you never play for points, but he argues that you have to climb through the bad tiers to get to the good ones, so he decides to stay.
We must be objective here, Katie. He violated a wisdom that hasn't been written yet. You have to want the win more than you want the action.
He definitely wanted the action, but Kyle, listen to his reasoning. He says he knew if he went home, he would be all alone and bored.
It was 2020. The world was locked down. Isolation was a factor. I will classify this as a mental health expense rather than a strategic error.
Exactly. Let's not be too hard on him. Plus, he executed a pro move to stay. He went to his car, counted his money, and called a host from the parking lot.
The negotiation. He told the host he was willing to stay, but only if they cut the room rate in half.
And the host agreed. But before he booked it, he made one more call.
He called command.
He called Mrs. TRG. He says she has veto authority. He walked her through the wins, the losses, and the plan.
I appreciate that detail. He wasn't sneaking around. They operate as a unit. She gave him the green light.
So what was the result of the Boredom Extension?
Financially, it was a push. He lost the day's table winnings but kept the slot profit and the previous night's win.
He broke even on money, but he gained the tier points and avoided a lonely Saturday night. I'd call that a win.
Agreed. The mission was a wash, but the morale remained high. Now let's head to the VIP lounge. TRG is pouring drinks in a virtual Atlantic City, and he's finally ready to tell us how Ben Affleck got banned.
We are entering the virtual VIP lounge. Today's simulation is located in Atlantic City.
This place is gorgeous. 30-foot ceilings, a glass dome overhead, and floor-to-ceiling windows looking right out at the ocean and the boardwalk.
I know the location, Katie. Have you ever been to the VIP lounge at Bally's in Atlantic City?
I haven't, Kyle, but every time I listen to one of TRG's stories, I want to go. Can you get us in?
I might know a guy who knows a guy. The staff here is legendary. There is a bartender named John. TRG says, John at the bar is a friend of mine.
I see what he did there. He gets me my drinks for free. It's a Billy Joel reference.
It is lyrical data, yes, but the service is real. John automatically turns the TV to TRG's local sports teams. And then there is Sandy.
The queen of coffee drinks. TRG says Mrs. TRG will chew your ear off talking about how amazing Sandy is. That's it. Pause the audit. TRG always says we can pause. I'm making an espresso martini in honor of Sandy. Let me make you one, Kyle.
Negative. I'm having Aquafina today. Future data confirms this. We will actually spend time with Sandy in future episodes. She is a verified asset. But for now, enjoy your drink and settle in. It's time for the Ben Affleck story.
This is the ultimate corporate Vegas fable. TRG uses it to show how much things have changed. In the old days, if you counted cards, the mob dragged you into a back room.
In modern Vegas, they send a man in a suit.
TRG recounts the report from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Did you verify that, Kyle? An executive walked up to Ben Affleck and politely said, Mr. Affleck, your wagers are exactly following the true count of the deck.
I did, Katie. Multiple sources confirmed TRG's story. It was a polite warning. They gave him a pass because he's Batman, but he didn't stop.
So the suit came back and said, I regret to inform you that you are no longer permitted to play blackjack at this casino ever.
But note the soft landing. They didn't kick him out. They invited him to dinner. They told him to enjoy the slots. They just killed his advantage.
It's a gentleman's ejection. And TRG ends the story with a hot take. He actually defends Ben Affleck's Batman. He says, I loved him as Batman, even though a lot of people didn't.
Controversial. But the audit of episode 6 is complete. We have the true from a certain point of view defense, the win small/leave discipline, the bachelor trip, and the Affleck ban.
Initiate the ironclad closing.
The engine is stable and the logic is verified. As the great one always says, the house owns the math, we own the transaction.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit your state's specific helpline. This content is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Past performance is not indicative of future results.
2026 Volcanic Dingo LLC. All rights reserved. Execute the plan, trust the core concepts, stay out of the noise, and always spell concepts with a K.
Next week, it's the big one.
Episode 7, The Origin Story. We finally find out how the Rambling Gambler was born.
See you then. I hope you understand. He was born a rambling man. Goodbye, everyone.